champ of the mic on tonight. With a mind so slick and a suit so clean, he's running this ring like a wrestling machine. From gold-plated deals to jaw-dropping schemes, he's the mastermind of your wildest dreams. Stand up, take note, bow down if you can. It's the Brilliant Show with the Brilliant One. He's the man.
Welcome into the Brilliant Show, and we got special guest Steve O'Malley coming up in just a second. But before we do, we're running a special this month. All right, check us out. Subscribe to us on Facebook for 99 cents a month. That's less than $12 a year, and you're going to get a chance to win free merchandise. And in the month of July, every Monday night, we're going to be giving away some free merch from the Brainbuster Tee store. You just go there, you pick out what Brilliant Show merch you want, and you get it. If you can, we'll draw a name every Monday night and pick a winner. And last night's winners was Kylie Angel and Stephen Posey. So they got their stuff is on the way. Here's some fans that do already have their Brilliant Show merchandise. There's Crystal Morrison with the hat and the shirt. And then you got Chambers with the shirt there. So there you go. And check us out on Brainbuster Tees. If you want to get you some merch, we got the Off the Rails t-shirt. It is available now on Brainbuster Tee, so go check it out. And like I said, if you can't ever watch us live, you can always check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, and Audible. And just today, we cracked the 100,000 download mark on the podcast platform. That's the audio version. That's not even the live version. But we're about to bring in Stephen Dixon. What's going on, Stephen Dixon? We're about to bring in Steve O'Malley here. What's up, Chris? It's true. You could be a winner. There you go. Oh, you got to tune in for this one. This is not going to be PG. Not at all. So let's go ahead and bring him in. The man of the hour, Steve O'Malley, baby.
What's up? What's up? How's it
Not
going?
much. What's going on, man?
You see it. You see it. Same old, just doing my thing.
Dude, I mean, the last time you was on my podcast was 6 years ago. Can you believe that?
It doesn't seem like 6 years ago. Well, here's my special guest.
Hey. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, man, 6 years. God, that's just wild.
Was back when Gene was running Diamond. I was about to, I think me and Charles West were about to have a champion versus champion match. So,
yep.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It was the TV title for the heavyweight title, and you ended up being a double champion, correct?
Yep. I don't think right after that interview, but it was the one after because we ended up having two matches.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you won the title after that, and I think it was also around the time that you came on was there was a lot of different storylines going on. So that was a good deal.
Yeah.
What year did you start wrestling?
Training 2002, I believe, and then actually working shows either early 2003 or mid 2003, somewhere in that range. This little fucker turned the TV on.
Cut the TV on. That's a smart one there.
Yeah, he stomps on everything. But yeah, it was in Buckatona, Mississippi, is where I started training with Nick Wonder and Mikey Webb, middle of nowhere. USCW, USWA, something to that.
Yeah, I believe I remember that. I mean, that was back in the heyday. Like Buckatona is like right down below Waynesboro, and dude, there's nothing there but a stoplight.
Yeah, it was at the volunteer fire department. There's a school and a volunteer fire department. That's all.
Yeah, and it's right across from each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
literally across the highway. But I started there, and I'll be honest, it was mostly here's how to bump, here's how to take moves, here's how to give moves. And now I didn't have a clue how to wrestle. Like didn't have a clue, didn't know what I was doing. It was a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but then thankfully I got with some guys, went down to Mobile, started wrestling at AWF once a week on Tuesdays. They ran every Tuesday at the club casino back then. And it was either my first or second time there. I just happened to look out in the crowd and suddenly see Paul fucking Bear sitting in the back drinking Jack. Blew my mind. I mean, first year of being in, and I look out in the crowd and see Paul Bear. So that really blew my mind for a while. Which, I mean, he started coming in the back a lot and talking to us and all that. It was great. But yeah, that was back when it was obviously Cletus and then Mountain Man were running the show back then. And yeah, I ran there about a year and a half. Then started wrestling Pensacola, Milton with XW 2000. It was Sika was owning it. And I think Rikishi was the actual booker at that point. Because that was back, I guess that was 2009-ish. Because it was the twins were there. The Usos were still there. And I believe that was before. Because I went to the Army at one point. So I don't know if that was. I know I went to XW a couple times. And then I went to the Army. I was in the Army about 2 years. Tore my back. Found out I have scoliosis and spina bifida in the same spot.
Wow.
Yeah, it's they did an X-ray to see the thing. They saw that, and it was I've got a curve in my spine, and then where your spine's supposed to, or your back's supposed to line up like this, mine is like that instead. Thankfully, it can be so bad it's open, like your spine. Mine's not that to that point. It's just my discs don't line up quite right. So I got to do a lot of like lower back exercises and shit to keep that from hurting or being a pain. But yeah, that ended up getting me out of the Army. And then from then on, it was a lot. XW 2000. Then I got into battle. Well, I went to one place for a while in Waynesboro, and it was at a fairgrounds. And second show, I believe, because the first show the ring broke, terrible night. Second show, I wrestled another guy, and then that's when I met Tim and Joe Williamson, otherwise known as Pharaoh Funk and Jesse Dalton. They were there. They watched the show, pulled me to the side, asked me if I'd want to come out. I think the next week, and then pulled me into Battle Zone. They had talked a couple guys into coming. We did like a tryout before the show, and then afterwards they told everybody, come back next week, we'll do some training, yada yada yada. And they pulled me to the side, and then they're like, hey, you want to wrestle tonight? Wrestled there, I want to say 10 years. Just about every week I was there.
That was an old McGee deal, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. In the original D battles, like I'm pretty sure the building was the Battle Zone. That's back when they were NWA Battle Zone at the time too.
Yeah, so. Back when Billy D owned it before Tim and them bought it. Yeah,
I think Tim and them had already bought it at this point.
They had bought it at this point. I think they bought.
Oh yeah, Mama D. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Mama D technically owned it. Yeah, and they gave it to them. You're right. Yeah, because somebody else owned it before Mama D and Pop.
It was Billy D. McLean that owned it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it was Billy D, then Mama D, a lot of D's, and then Tim and them got it. That was back. And yes, to answer your question, Humpty Dumpty, Steve, you will be at Crusade Pro next week, right?
Oh, yep, the 12th. Forgot who I'm wrestling. We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah, we're old, Brandon and Steve. Yeah, we definitely getting there. I can tell you.
Very.
Let's see. Stephen Dixon's got a question now. We already got into how you got into wrestling, but what promotion or wrestler did you like growing up? Like, what was your favorite promotion? Because we grew up in the era of the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah. So. I was actually more of a WCW guy. I loved Sting. Then they brought in Raven. Then they had so much good stuff going at that
Billy
point.
Kidman back then when he was with Raven.
Loved
that
Billy
was Kidman. Man, Kidman was awesome back then.
And funnily enough, before I started training, I didn't know indie wrestling existed. Because the internet wasn't a big thing at that point because I'm that fucking old. So like I'd heard about backyard wrestling and all that because I think that was when the backyard wrestling video game came out. So I knew about that, but I had no clue indie wrestling was really a thing because it wasn't talked about that much.
M Dog 420.
Yeah. That was about all. That's about all I knew of indie wrestling was like M Dog 2020 and all these other guys that are backyard wrestlers. Let me let this cat out real quick. And then I just got asked, you want to train to wrestle, and it was just like, fuck yeah, like that's. And Nick, as far as what match made me say wrestling is what I want to do, I can't think of any specific match that made me think that. There's a lot.
Yep, 7-year itch Kidman. That was it. What would be your dream match, dude?
A dream match? Oh, I don't know. Like I've had a lot of good ones, so I mean, I can't really say what a dream match would be because most of the guys I originally would say would be a dream match, they're not that active anymore. So I mean, I'm more of a architect at this point in my career. I'm not looking to have a banger. I'm looking to build somebody for the future because I'm not the future anymore. Let's face it. I mean, I'd rather help build somebody.
What's your favorite match you've worked in? Stephen Posey brought that.
Favorite match? Actually, it's a weird one. I was tagging with a guy, Mikey, my brother, Mikey O'Malley. We had been running a big angle with the Black Dynasty, Chris Black and Eric Black, and they ended up moving from SW. It was SWA at the time, J.R. Anderson's SWA, which I don't know what happened with that turning into SWO, but whatever. We were running in Hattiesburg, and they went to Battle Zone, so they were no longer with SWA. So we had nothing left. So we ended up working a match with each other, and it was just, I don't know, something about the match. We had so much chemistry together, and it just where everything was perfect. Everything was firing on all cylinders. It was just fun. We just went in there and goofed off, had a good time, and it was just perfect. It was weird. It wasn't no 5-star match. It wasn't jumping off the top of everything and doing crazy bumps or anything, which I've had plenty of those over the years, but for some reason that one always stuck with me and was my most favorite.
I think Pet's wanting you to take on Suge White. That'd be a brawl. That wouldn't be a wrestling match.
Yeah, that would be fun. We worked each other over a little at the
Mississippi Rumble.
Mississippi Rumble, yeah. It was. We found each other in a corner because if it's at a Rumble, I'll definitely be.
There's Scott tuning in. The matches at SWA were fucking great.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Ginger.
Both of them. Both back in the day in Hattiesburg were great. Back when it was me and Mikey with Scott or Chris Black and Eric Black, or an SWO as well. We had a lot of good matches at SWO.
Well, a lot of people don't give the guy enough credit, but Eric Black's a very underrated wrestler.
Oh, I love Eric Black. He's easy to work. He's always been down to do pretty much anything. I've known Eric I don't even know how long, 12, 13, 14, 15 years. So, yeah, it's been.
Back when you was young enough to get like gangbusters.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was me. We used to, man. Me and Chris Black. We've had a lot of good matches over the years. Because when we were actually younger and could fucking go, it was a lot of fun. These days it's a lot slower. I'm gonna slow you down, and
What
we're gonna
now
wear you
look,
out.
you and Hunter Hendricks had a hell of a match.
Oh yeah,
And it wasn't no slowing in that one because I know how Hunter is. He's 100 miles an hour,
yeah.
and y'all were going. How did you feel? What do you feel about that kid's future?
Oh, I love Hunter Hendricks. That kid's going places. He's respectful in the back. He's got everything he needs. As long as he doesn't let anything get to his head and grow an ego or nothing stupid over time, that kid's going places. I like that kid.
Well, Hunter's got a good head on his shoulders, I think.
No, absolutely.
And I think he's got a bright future ahead. Oh, we're gonna get to some dark secrets here in a second because I'm fixing to pop a can open right now. We're gonna go ahead. I was waiting for some people to get in here. We got some in here now. I got to dive into something. You know me, I'm a shit star. You know, I got to stir shit up. I got to
Here we
cause
go.
problems, and I got to drink beer. That's things I do.
What's
So
up,
the first thing I want to bring up is, and I know this, you know this is coming. You've been like you brought up SWO and shit. So what happened with that?
Well, all right. So I was booking for SWO. When J.R. Anderson first started back, he couldn't be SWA because Steve Starr had SWA. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know if it was sold or if they just started using the name or what happened. I don't know. Wasn't my business. But he wanted to start back. He ended up buying my ring that I had and started up SWO. At first, he had another booker. We ran shows. I want to say 4 or 5 shows, maybe a few more. And then he came to me asking if I'd be the booker. So I became the booker soon after. Ran the show all through COVID and all that shit. So that was a pain in the ass. But had a lot of good stuff. I was training with them. Trained a lot of good guys. And then it was right after I dropped the junior heavyweight to Leo the Great. And then he ended up taking a little 6-month hiatus, which he does. I don't know why. Seemed like every time we build up a crowd, he'd be like, "Oh, I got to take time off."
Well, before you keep diving, this is the situation when you build momentum up,
mm-hmm.
and you get to that top part, and you take a break, it goes back down, and it is hard to get momentum back up.
And it's very frustrating as a booker because I'm doing all this to build everything up, and everything gets built up, and we go from 30 or 40 people in the crowd to 100, 150 people. You want to keep that going. I don't want 150. I want 300. I want 400. I want 500. I want to steadily grow. He takes 6 months off. You come back, and you're back down to 40 or 50 if you're lucky. So that was frustrating already. So I'm already frustrated. And then during that hiatus that he's on, one of his son, one of the wrestlers, decided to hop on a TGCW post that was about Binky, and he decided to say what he really said wasn't necessarily homophobic, but it was just like a puking emoji, generally just being a douchebag about him being gay. He was being homophobic without saying anything directly.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And so, I pretty much, to me, that's starting shit with another locker room for no reason. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. And then after that, I was already going to confront him face to face. But after that, it was like every single day he'd have 4, 5, 6 posts with this homophobic bullshit constantly. So finally, I just called him out on it, and he got upset, ran to his daddy crying about it, and got me fired. So that was one thing with that. And then Josh Crow, who was my tag partner for many years over the years in different places, he decided to, because after they fired me, I pretty much said in a group chat to all my students that, you know, if you guys ever need to want to get away from this company and get other bookings, I'm only a message away. That's all I said. I wasn't saying, hey, leave SWO, come wrestle for places for me. I didn't say any of that. I don't want them to leave SWO. If they want to wrestle there, that's them. But that's all I said. Well, this douchebag messages me, texts me, and he's like, well, you can't talk to SWO students. And I was like, first of all, they're my students. I trained them. I was like, I don't, not that I own them or anything, but that's my boys. That's my friends. If I'm going to tell my friends if they need bookings to hit me up, period. But then he just kept on and on and on. And finally I told him, I really think you're just mad that these students can already wrestle better than you ever could. And he got pissed off.
He's a wrestler?
Yeah, Josh Crow. He was my tag partner.
Your tag partner.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, carried his ass around. But then he decides to tell me I'm a keyboard warrior, which I find hilarious at first. And then he refers to my 13-year-old daughter as a gay slur. I'll just leave it at that. And then I'm like, okay, where the fuck are you? And then it turned, and my message never sends because he, right after calling me a keyboard warrior, says some shit and blocks my number.
Oh, of course he does. Of course.
So it wasn't the next show after that, but the one following that one, because the first one was like tornado weather when they were having a show. But the very next one, I just showed up, like no backup, just me. Show up, walk to the locker room, wait till he comes to the back and just get in his face. I'm like, take a swing. Like, because I already know if I just started swinging on him, they'll call the cops.
Yeah.
But if he swings first, I'm not going to call the cops, but it's no longer assault. So
beat his ass.
Yeah, it would be assault on him if cops got called, but I'm not going to press charges on him. So yeah, I was, and of course it was all, well, I can't fight, it's show day. I don't understand how that's a fucking excuse. It sounds like a bitch made excuse to me. But yeah, dude wouldn't take a swing, wouldn't do nothing. And then they come back there and get in my face talking about, well, the locker room ain't gonna let this happen. I look around, who the fuck's gonna stop me? Like, nobody. Like, it's just me. All these people here, nobody's taking a swing. Like, nobody did anything.
You missed a lot, Chris Phillips. You missed a lot already. He was talking shit about you. He called you butterbean.
But then, yeah, they ended up calling the cops, making me leave. So I left before the cops even got there, so it wouldn't be legal issues over stupid shit. But yeah, eventually I'm gonna get a hold of Josh. And lo and behold, Shelby, who the whole problem started with, was nowhere to be found during the whole thing. So it is what it is. But yeah.
Well, you know, this is my philosophy on it because I have several that do it. You know, people say I'm behind the mic talking shit, but I'm mentioning names.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not scared to go anywhere because here's the facts. Let's face it. I'll take butterbean over a meth head's nipple like your head. Okay, you jackass. Oh, and there's Binky. There's Binky. And I'll just say this. Anybody that's met Binky knows that Binky is great.
Yep.
And great to be around and enjoy talking to him. And it's fun. So anybody that can slander Binky just don't know Binky and are small-minded.
Yep, exactly. That's my biggest thing is Binky. I first met Binky when I started working for Diamond this past time, and Binky's great. I love Binky.
And stands out as well.
Worked a match with him, so I mean,
what he stands out is different.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: when you want to get noticed in wrestling, you stand out.
Yep.
Everybody can pretend to be a badass.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody can be a chicken shit heel, or they can't be this, or they can't be that. It takes a special person, and that's the kind of things that get noticed, is stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Let me just say this. Let me jump back to it. All right, so I know what post you're talking about, but what I was going to say was, you talk a lot. I talk a lot of shit on here. People say, and they say I'm behind the mic. Well, yeah. Well, I'll say it to your face too if I'm in front of you.
Mm-hmm. I'm the same way. If I say it online, I promise you, I'll say it to your face just as quick. Like, I have no issues saying the same exact things I'm saying either online or in text or anything else. I'll say it happily to somebody's face. Just like I showed up to a locker room, I'm by myself showing up to a locker room that I don't belong in. I mean, yeah, I know my students aren't probably going to jump in, but I don't have a clue who else might jump in. But I still showed up. Like, I ain't scared.
Well, you know what? The way I look at it is kind of the way you looked at it and the way you walked into it. I bet you enjoyed being stretched by Binky, as Suge White says. Anyone can slander all day, but they can't slay. That's true. But here's my thing: the philosophy that you come up with is right. This is where the pussies in wrestling come in. Like, they sit there and they talk all this shit. I'll whoop your ass. I'll whoop your ass. And then you get there and they're like, "Hey man, can I take a picture with you?"
Mm-hmm.
And then, but what I want to do is, if you walk into the locker room, that's what I'm waiting for you to do, is punch me. Now, I'm not saying that I can whoop your ass. You look at me, I'm 165 pounds soaking wet. I may not whoop your ass, but I ain't backing down from your ass.
You know, I've stood 10 toes down in front of Mountain Man before. When I knew I was in the wrong. I knew I was in the wrong. But at the end of the day, I stood 10 toes down in front of him. Like, I mean, because this was SCW. He was booking for SCW, and I went about it the wrong way. I was very unhappy with how he was booking, because Mountain Man is a guy that could book a road show. Say if you had a traveling carny style show, you were in a different town every week. You're not specifically following angles. It was what I call matchmaking. He was a matchmaker. He wasn't a wrestler. I mean, he was a wrestler. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't a regular. He wasn't a booker. He was a matchmaker.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I had some things to say about it. Instead of going about it the right way, I went on Facebook and talked some shit. But at the end of the day, he called me out on it, and I stood behind what I said. I was in the wrong. Don't get me wrong. I should have went about it a different way. I'm man enough to admit I was wrong, but I still stood 10 toes down in front of him. I thought I was going to get my head slapped off, but I was still there backing up what I said, even though I was wrong. So, I mean, I don't care who it is. It could be the biggest man on the planet, or it could be somebody the same size as me. If I got something to say, I'm going to say it.
Yeah, no filter. Hey, the wrestling enthusiast Andrew Hansen says, "Hey, boy." That's just like Mountain Man was saying. Yeah, there's been, I mean, like, all right, so basically they fired you because you called out the.
Yep, I called out the son of the promoter, and they got all upset. So,
all right, now I've never met either one of these. I've never met JR. I've never met Shelby. So, just enlighten me a little bit on them, because like I said, I can't just. I talk shit, but I talk shit about people I know.
Which, I mean, I'd worked with JR for damn near my whole career, because he ran SWA back in the day, way back when guys like Wade Garrett and Ron Horn and all those guys were. So I knew him forever, and he's just an old drunk. Basically, he's like a money mark. He's not a money mark, but he's like a money mark. He doesn't want to run anything. He just wants to basically own the company and have a little say. Without a doubt, the answer to that is Chris Black. My favorite
Look at
book.
that. He had to get that rub on himself.
Yeah,
right
he
there.
knew the answer to that. That's exactly what I mean. He wanted
He had
the
to get that
off on
rub
me.
on. He had to
But
get
I
that
mean,
rub.
it's that's a shoot though. That's straight shoot.
And don't worry, Chris. We're going to be talking about you a little bit more in a little while. Trust me.
Yeah, Chris Black is when we were running SCW, we went from 20, 30, 40 people up to packing the house with like 3, 4, 500. It was great. And it was pretty much when Mountain Man was booking, that happened that I was talking about. We were 30, 40 people in the crowd. He took back over the book. He started taking ideas from us. We ended up bringing in the Mississippi Mafia back then, and it blew up. We started packing the house every single time. It was great. So
We got a question I'm going to ask here in just a second from Stephen Posey, but Binky helped me get off my feed at GCW show, or back on my feed at the GCW show. That was the last one at the clubhouse where you were on your ass, Jared. You got knocked down. Stephen Posey's got a good question here. Have you ever gotten a fight in the back with a talent? Hey, Paul. There's Paul.
No.
Right.
There was once. So when I was at Battle Zone, I ended up having some heat with Tim, with Pharaoh. I don't even know.
No, heat with Pharaoh?
Yeah. I don't even remember what caused it or what it was all about. We had like a good year where we were on each other's fucking throats, just constantly back and forth, talking shit back and forth. He still has me blocked to this day. It was so bad. Like, and then so I went to go squash the heat. So I showed up once again, showing up to a locker room by my damn self. And I went to go talk to Tim way before the show started. And another guy, Tommy Morrow, I don't know exactly what his beef with the whole thing was. I guess he felt like he needed to do something about it. He decided he wanted to fight me. And it was the funniest because I wasn't trying to fight because I'm there trying to squash heat. And he throws a punch. And I duck it and push him off. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I'm just trying to go talk to Tim. And he throws another punch, and I duck it. And it was literally just him throwing these huge, wide haymakers and me ducking and pushing him. And Chris Black's over there cackling. Jesse Dalton's over there laughing. Like, it was the funniest shit. Like, it was terrible. Like, if I would have swung back, that poor guy wouldn't have known what happened because it was just swinging haymakers and me ducking underneath every one of them. It was terrible.
Imagine that. Frankie Thomas said he broke up a fight with you before in the ring.
I'm old. That was probably a lot of drugs and a lot of concussions ago. So. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying it wasn't enough for me to remember anymore. So,
all right. Out of the trainers or trainees, who's your favorite? Another one trying to get a rub, I feel.
Jeffrey, are you trying to get a rub too here, kid? Yes, it was like George Foreman fighting a spider monkey. My favorite trainee. I love all you guys equally, bro. Like I can't choose just one. For real, like I don't have favorites when it comes to that. If I had to pick a favorite, I'm gonna have to cheat and pick my sister though. So sorry, kiddo.
Look at that! Look at that! The rub didn't work out for him. Will the rub work out for Gary? Who is your
favorite manager? I'm gonna go the political route and also choose my sister on that one. So
look at that! Oh man, two rubs got knocked down. They didn't. Man, I'm sure you still love them though, Steve. Right?
Oh yeah, I love every one of them. But yeah, my sister was my first. My sister
Leo
was
the Great.
My first
whoa! Scott, come bringing this up. So this has got to be some juiciness to this. What's Leo the Great? Why is he your favorite?
Oh, I love Leo. Leo is my boy. That was besides my sister, he was my first trainee. Started training him. He moved to Georgia soon after, and he's come back, and he's going places. More people need to book him. Everybody needs to book him. If y'all can get him, I promise you, he will be an asset to any and every roster out there. I mean, same goes for all my trainees, to be honest. But I don't know. Leo that's my boy. He's always going to be my boy. I beat his ass in a hardcore match. He quickly learned I don't pull chair shots whatsoever. So yeah, that's.
Well, let me ask you this. Hold on, Binky's got a question. I got a question. How long did it take you to grow that beard? That's a good question.
I've had it since 2019. I started growing it full because I've always had like a chin strap at least. Just before COVID, I started growing it out, just fully, just letting it grow, brushing it, putting oils, all that shit. But through COVID, when not wrestling as much, not doing as much, is when I really started growing it. I've shaved it mostly off once since then, but that was just because it was all bushed out. Since then, I started using a straightener to get it a little better. But yeah, it's been about 6 years, give or take.
6 years, good God. All right, let me ask you this now. So we're still on the SWO. We're still on J.R. Anderson real quick. And Shelby, what's his name?
Smith.
Shelby Smith. Yeah, the franchise. Shelby Smith, that's right. I said that right, Chris. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, I know you're working with Crusade Pro now.
Right.
I heard a little rumor that, all their flyers and stuff got took down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. None of my boys had anything to do with it. I know that much.
Why? I didn't figure. I think I named the suspects already.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It wouldn't surprise me. I'll put it that way. That's one of those old school douchebag mentalities. There's other places that do it too. I'm not going to sit here and name names on that one, but yeah, it's stupid. It's
why not name names?
Well, I see it. If you feel like you got to take down their posters so that they get less people, you're scared of how they're going to draw. You're scared they're going to outdraw you. That's just fear. Whether it's them, whether it's AWF, or whoever's doing it, it's bullshit.
Well, here's the thing, too, man. Let me just say this. Like, why are you so worried about somebody else's product? Why are you worried about them? Why don't you worry about your product and improving yourself?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that's what matters.
As far as I see it, I don't care who I have heat with, who I'm mad at. I want every promotion to do well because people doing well in the area is going to boost up everybody else. Unless you're
well, it gives people more places to work.
Exactly. There's the more places succeeding, the more places there are to work, the more they're benefiting each other. If TGCW starts running shows and they're doing great, somebody down the road is going to get a rub off of that. Like it's stupid to sit there and want to want somebody to fail because bad wrestling is going to steer people away from wrestling, period. So if you want them to fail, then yeah, it may not be bad wrestling per se, but if they fail, people see it as bad wrestling. So that's what I mean by that, by the way. I don't mean anybody.
Oh no, Raza. This is a buddy. He ain't giving me no problems. This is my buddy right here. Or at least I think he is. Let's see here. Rob Cabello, there's a name.
Oh,
and Rob, I gotta get with you. I'll get back with you on some stuff. But he says, I want one more lockup.
I would love another lockup. I've wrestled many matches with him. Yes. I see SCW, we had several.
DCW.
We had several, so I would absolutely love it.
Yeah, it can all benefit. Here's the thing, like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong with this, but like, I talk shit about people, and I talk shit about some companies, but at the end of the day, I'm not wishing any company to go out of business because it gives everybody a place to work.
Yep.
There's some people that work at, and I'm not naming names or anything, but there's certain people that work at one company that may not can work at another company. And that may be their only chance to get to hone their craft. Because a lot of people are like me, they run their mouths, they spew off stuff, and I don't care who likes me or hates me, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, you can love me, you can hate me. If you love me, God, I love you too. If you hate me, I love you even more when you hate me. But it's just, the thing is, like, you should never want to wish death upon a company.
Yep.
No matter how much you hate the person that runs it or how much you dislike people over there, the more companies in wrestling, the better I see it. The more it flourishes. Now, when it gets to bad wrestling, I'll just say this: bad wrestling usually wipes itself out. You don't have to wipe it out. It does it on its own. Now, what I do look at is that sometimes fans get that bad experience before they get the good. And it's kind of hard to get that casual fan back into the building for a wrestling show if they have a bad experience. But sometimes you can do it, and it works out for the better for them, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's exceptions to what I said too. If there's a company out there just putting out bad wrestling, just every match, it doesn't make any sense. It's not telling a story. Nobody knows how to wrestle properly. By all means, those kind of companies need to die. But if they're booking legit wrestlers and they're having solid matches and yada yada, I'm not going to wish death on a company like that. Like I said, there's exceptions, but
hold on, let's see here. Is the full video going to be posted? I'd love to listen to the full thing. Yes, it's going to be posted. This is live. As soon as we're off the air, it will be on YouTube, it will be on Facebook, and it will be on podcast, so you can listen to it on like Apple Podcasts or whatnot. It'll be in the morning before it's on Apple Podcasts, but yeah, you can watch it over. Let's see here. Okay, that's the same one. I'm sorry. I'm hitting the wrong ones here. Always supported good indie wrestling. That's right. Good indie wrestling. And I support indie wrestling over big promotion wrestling. I don't even hardly watch like WWE or AEW. I just don't. I can't get into it as much. Now I watch it every now and then if I find something interesting to watch. But
yeah, I don't watch the product live anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched live. I mean, except here and there. I haven't watched live wrestling since WrestleMania, like 2 or 3 years ago, and that was a one-off.
Yeah.
So I go back and watch. I do tape study, but as far as watching live, I haven't watched live in probably 10 plus years. I watched WrestleMania night 1 live because I think night 2 we were at the same show. Night 2, wasn't we? I think so, yeah.
Or was it night 1 we were at it was night 1 we were at the same show.
Yeah, that was Crusade, wasn't it?
Yes. So, yeah. So I watched night 2 live. I did go back and rewatch night 1, and I didn't think WrestleMania was bad this year. It's just hard to get me to sit there for 6 hours and watch this shit now. It's just, It's really hard.
I mean,
I can watch on every level.
Half the time within 5 minutes, I already know the finish. Like, may not know the exact finish, but I know who's going over. Like,
dude, my wife called the finish. Legitimately called the finish for the main event at WrestleMania, and I was just sitting there thinking, "How did you do it?" She's like, "Well, if you just read it," she's like, "You're supposed to know this. You watch it just as much." I said, "Yeah," but I said, "Gosh, I mean, you just nailed it."
Mm-hmm.
Like the Cena thing.
If I see 2 Raws in a row, I can probably tell you who's going over at the PLE. So
oh yeah,
you can usually tell by that.
Yeah, you got to meet the brilliant one, Stephen Posey. You do. You're out of Louisiana, right? Yeah, I don't have good blood work, so no, I'm just joking. I do have good blood work.
Speaking of blood work, where'd Chris Black go?
Yeah. Chris, how's the blood work down there in Louisiana? I remember you had something to do with that, but independent wrestling is much better than WWE. Yes, it is. I agree. The young men and women go out there and put their hearts and souls into wrestling. They really do. Here's the thing:
Absolutely.
you can go out there and appreciate independent wrestling because it's more intimate, and you get to interact. That's the thing. You get to interact with these people and have fun with it, and that leaves a more lasting impression than going and sitting with 20,000 people, watching people you can't even get close to touching. And there you go, unless you're paying $1 million.
Yep.
Uh,
Like the green shirt guy, red shirt guy, or whatever the hell he is. That one guy that's on
yeah, the green shirt or a blue shirt, whatever. Yeah,
one of those colors.
that dude's at every fucking show, though, man.
Oh yeah,
Like,
there's no way he's paying for those.
No, there's no way. I mean, hell,
Oh yeah.
man, let's see here. That's Gary again. Let's see this Binky. How was the environment chemistry when the other owner was running Diamond, and did you enjoy it with the old crew? Well, first, before you answer that, Steve, I'll go ahead and say this. Gene, I worked with Gene as well. Now, I worked with Gene in the later days of Diamond, but you were with Gene from the start.
Very first show.
One of the first people that he brought in.
I was in the first and I was in the last, and just I don't think I missed but maybe one show between the first and last one. So I was with Gene's at DCW from beginning to end. It was great when we first started. It was Jamie Powell, Mountain Man. I want to say Moondog maybe was there. I don't remember who all was there.
Moondog was around. Yeah,
but it was they did it was good. We started, I want to say Kiln, and then he ended up getting the VFW and Pascagoula and the youth center in Ocean Springs, and ran every 2 weeks, either one or the other. Oh Lord, Nero, Jesus Christ, Nero 13.
Whoa. Wait, hey, we're not trying to crack a nut right this second. Okay, I'm getting to that. All right, you finish with Diamond, then we'll get to Nero 13 here in a second.
We'll finish with Diamond, then we'll go back to we'll circle back to it. But yeah, Diamond was great. Diamond, it was pretty much a hodgepodge at first, just kind of thrown together. There wasn't a lot of true stories built at the very beginning, and it was good though. Everybody, it was a family. And then when we moved to Pascagoula and Ocean Springs, when it really started kicking off, that's when Koloff got brought in. That's when he brought in Charles West. That's when guys like Rob Cabela started coming in. He had Airman Banks was there.
Oh, Airman Banks.
A lot of good matches. Yeah, it was good. It was solid. We built. I was there long enough that I had every singles title they had to offer. Then turned around and got a tag team partner, got the tag belts at one point too. I was the first double champion there with the TV and heavyweight. Won that off of Charles West. Won the heavyweight off of Charles West. It was a lot of good stuff.
Speaking of keyboard warriors, what's up, guys? It's Shoot Show.
My PlayStation's down right now. I can't play any Call of Duty right now.
Can't play no Call of Duty right now. Shoot
Breakout on my phone though. If you got Arena Breakout on the phone, I will play with you. I can carry you.
Look at that. See Shoot Show. You can still play Call of Duty. Now I've seen Shoot Show on Facebook complain so much about how hard it is to play online Call of Duty now. He's like, there's so many high levels. I remember playing in it, and like back in like 09, 2010, 14, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, I was going in there and I was getting murdered. So I was never good at it. So it didn't matter to me. I was going to get killed anyway.
Oh, I was great at it. I've played since COD 4. Played Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2. I played through all those. And that's probably where I get my shit talking from, is the Call of Duty voice chats. So,
oh yeah, those are crazy.
But then I started actually streaming for a while with. But I started.
Right, I'm sorry, show. I won't call you shoot. I'll just call you show.
But,
oh look, this dude changes gimmicks more than anybody in the world. He's got his. What gimmick you on? Number 50. Steve.
Man of many masks. But no, I streamed on Twitch with Black Ops 4 for, I don't know, 2-3 years. I had about 200 followers, started getting subscribers and shit. It was great. But then, started moving, lost internet, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, we're gonna get to Nero right after this. So before we do, I got to plug something.
All right.
Make sure you go and check us out on Facebook for 99 cents a month. You're entered and got a chance to win free merchandise each and every week in the month of July. Every Monday night, we're giving away free merchandise right here on the British Show. It's only 99 cents a month. That's less than $12 a year. And you get a chance to win merchandise that costs way more than that. All right. So here's my next thing.
Subscribe to Brandon Turner's OnlyFans, guys.
Yeah, I wish I could. I wish I had OnlyFans. I wish I did. I'd be making it. I tell you what, if I was a woman, I would have an OnlyFans because I'd be making a lot of money. Well, if I look good. But anyway, Luke Bates, I heard you were banned from GCW. I contacted Krangus and he said you are banned. So you might want to hit Krangus up and talk to him about it because he's fired up. Like he says you're banned and not to ever come back. I don't know what that means, but that's it. Black Ops 4, blackout mode.
It'll be worth it, Kylie.
All right, so first, enlighten us on some of the people out there that don't know who Nero 13 is. Enlighten us on.
I don't even know where this kid started. Supposedly, he was working with Sika and all the Samoans down in Pensacola, but I wrestled for them for years, and I never once ran into this guy. So I don't know. But I first met him at a Diamond show. They weren't even using him yet. And then I booked him a couple times at SWO. But the kid, like, he's one of those guys that when you see him wrestle, like, all you can really think is, well, at least he's not a pedophile. Well, that doesn't work with him. So, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well. So anyway, you booked him at SWO.
Yep.
And you booked him against a worm.
Yeah, that was. To be fair, though.
Here we go, being fair. I'm not fair. But anyway, go ahead.
I mean, it's one of those things of I don't think I could have got a good match out of that guy. So I'm not going to completely blame the worm on that one. Because he's a rough work. I've also booked him against other people, and it never turned out well. So,
hey Brian, if you're 15, you make him find out who Nero is. At least he's not a pedophile. That didn't age well.
Didn't age well at all. That's probably one of the things I said about him after I booked him a couple times as a filler. But
here's one of your commissioners at SWO at one point. Old Straw Hat.
Old Straw Hat JB.
All right, I want to get. Let's see here. Hold on, Jamie. Coyle, I agree, girl. Not worth your time.
No, he's not.
Oh hell no.
That's the last bit of time I'll even give the guy because he's not
Well,
worth it.
that's a good time. You gave him enough time. You didn't even say enough. All you said was, you saw him in the ring. Well, at least he's not a pedophile.
But but unfortunately, that didn't work out in the end.
And
Anyway,
Brian,
so this is a perfect time to give out a little known fact. So a little known fact about me is I was actually blessed with a 9-inch penis.
9
Fortunately,
inches?
yeah. Fortunately, that priest is in prison now. So, can you believe the worst part? That asshole hit me up to put money on his books. Can you believe that shit? Yeah, I hope $50 was enough.
Oh man, that was a good one. Damn. Let's see here. Jamie, because that's super short. A bridge version.
Yeah, that's all it needs.
So let's dive into Chris Black. I mean, you've been around Chris Black forever. You've done you just like you said, you was with Diamond forever. You didn't miss many shows with Diamond. You didn't miss many shows with Chris. Run it down. Let us know what you think about Chris. Because I'm gonna tell you, my thoughts on Chris is this. I don't know if me and Chris have ever had heat. I've never had a problem with Chris. I've always liked him, and that's it. So, what's your thoughts?
So, for some reason, I always tend to be friends with the most polarizing people. So back in the day, Chris Black was not liked by a lot of people. You either loved him or hated him. There was no in between with him. He was very straightforward. He said it like it was. He still does. Don't get me wrong. He's a little nicer these days, but he, like, a lot of people hated him. I've never had issues with him. I think I want to say I ran into him first with at SWA, maybe when Wade was booking it, because I did a lot of work with him way back in the day. I've always had bang up matches with him. Always clicked with him. We're always talking shit in the back.
Somebody's
9 times out of 10,
for a booking.
yep. if we're booked on the same show, I promise we're probably gonna be sitting side by side talking shit the whole time. Watching the match, either pointing out what we love or fucking shitting all over it, depending on where it is. But at the same time, dude, Chris Black is a plethora of wrestling knowledge. Like if you are green, or even if you're in between being green and a vet, I promise he has something he can teach you. So he's definitely one to look at in the locker room and show respect to and listen to in the back, because that's a huge thing I always teach when I'm training is as when you're young, when you're fresh in the business, always be listening. Because like, I'm not going to sit here, like, I'm old. I've been in this shit forever. I don't sit here and call myself a vet though. Because I don't know. Maybe it's lack of ego or something, but I don't really consider myself a vet. I've been called a vet many times.
Well, you can't even spell vet, so that's why you don't call yourself one. I mean,
it's too long of a word for me. But no, you want to sit there and listen to the vets. Listen to what guys that have been there for a while. Just shut your mouth and listen once more, and just. So, but hey, that's one of those guys that if you sit there and listen to him, work with him, all that, you'll learn so much from him, dude. Me and him have probably taken 1 or 2 bumps in a match before, and had a bang up match, had the crowd the entire time, and neither one of us took but one or two bumps. Like,
And that's when you know you're doing something right. When you only take Jason, Jason's got it here. Understands the psychology for sure. Yeah, he does. And that's a key factor. That's what a lot of people don't realize is psychology is the number one thing in wrestling. It's not moves. It's psychology. Chris Black has given me a solid advice on my matches since I started wrestling, and O'Malley has as well. O'Malley, yes, both of them have. I know you've given a lot of advice as well, Brian. Let's see here. I like Brian. He's a good kid.
I love Brian.
Jamie S. In setting between rows 2 and road trips and always a fun time, Steve and Chris had the best road stories. They do. What? Let's get this out of here. I want you to tell me a Steve O'Malley, Chris Black road story real quick because I still got a couple of controversial things to ask you. I'm trying to space them out enough. But I gotta ask the biggest one when I get drunk.
Honestly, I can't think of many that involve me and Chris.
Well, just tell us a road story.
All right.
Like one that
I was hoping he would be in the chat by now, but he's not. But I'll go ahead and do it anyway because I got permission. So it was back at Battle Zone. I was tagging with Sean O'Reilly, and we had a big angle with DJ Pringle and his partner at the time. And I'm sitting there getting dressed. I think we were gonna have a singles. I think we each had singles with. I think I was working his partner. He was working somebody else. Either way, me and his partner are sitting side by side as I'm getting dressed. And they always did a pre-show prayer. So they're doing their little prayer, and I'm steady putting my stuff on, just kind of listening to the prayer. And all of a sudden, I hear Steven. So me and the guy I'm working both look over at Daniel, DJ who said it. This man has his nuts stretched from knee to knee, with his legs spread, stretched knee to knee, looks like a fucking bat signal of scrotum. So we're in the middle of a prayer, and we look up and see that, and it's, oh my God, like the hardest to not laugh in the middle of prayer I've ever had in my life. But
it would have been too hard for me not to. I would have probably blessed.
But I mean, back when I was on the road a lot, because I mean, at one point in wrestling, you could wrestle 4 or 5 times a week, no problem. You can't do that anymore. It's not the same as it used to. I don't know of anybody running during the week. Diamond running Fridays is the closest. They had.
And Lost Art, they run on Fridays too, and that's
there's a few that run on Fridays, but other than that, there's like AWF used to run Tuesdays every night at the Club Casino. But it was all drug, sex, and rock and roll then. So a lot of my road stories involve a lot of things that I'm probably not gonna bring up because it, like I said, drug, sex, and rock and roll back then.
Look at what Jason said. I would have reached over there and flicked both them nuts.
I'm not saying anything on that one because, but no, it's over the years, it's a lot of drugs, a lot of crazy shit. In fact, it wasn't that match that night, but the blow off to that angle I was just talking about. DJ hit me in the head with a chair so hard I forgot to bump. I forgot to fall over. Like he hit me, and like, you know, seeing stars like the cartoon, it was like that, but it was sparkle, just sparkling in the air, and I forgot to fall over. like he hit me. I went down to a knee, and I was like, oh shit, and I just kind of fell over because I was like, there's no shot I'm gonna stay standing after that. But he hit me, and it was just sparkles.
Jamie Powell says he remembers some crazy shit that went down between UCB and him. Now, I'll just say this. If Jamie Powell remembered it, that's a miracle. I only think he remembers waking up this morning.
Hell, he's younger than me though, so.
Oh, he is?
I
Damn, I
think.
thought Jamie was in his 60s.
I don't know about that old, but
Jamie knows I'm messing with him.
I'm pushing it.
Hell, I'm older than all y'all. See, I'm old man. See, I'll be 42 this year. And next
I'll
month.
be 41 in 2 days.
So you're 41 in 2 days. I'll be 41 next month. So, 42 next month.
There you go. I was about to say, you done lost a year? Jesus.
Yeah, I did, man. Well, I actually tell everybody I'm 21.
There you go. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
That's why I
way
keep
you're
shaving
legal.
off my gray. This doesn't shave off, but
I still got my little patches here there. In September, Chambers, no. Now look, you can't say you're 42 just because you're 70. No, the Moondog is an old 54. Is that right? I'm going to be 55. I didn't think you was that old, Jason. I would have never guessed that.
oh, man,
61, Gary. Not with them. No. Come on, y'all get set. But anyway, tell us about the Jamie Powell and Chris Black and you.
I don't know. I honestly can't even remember half this shit. We've worked a lot of shows together. He was at SCW a lot. Shut up, Jamie.
45 in 2 days.
No, I'm not 45 at all. Do I prefer singles or tags? As far as storytelling, probably singles. As far as I'm old and don't want to do a lot, tag. Because I can ride the apron. Well, unless it's with Chris Black, because he usually rides the apron. I take everything, man. Gotta protect the old man.
Moondog says he's still bumping and counting days. Yeah, well, bump card's real. People may not believe, but the bump card is real.
Oh, me and Jason have had some bang up matches over the years. That old
card, he does not look 60. He looks 70, not 60. There's a difference. There's a 10-year difference there. Not O'Malley. Chris Chambers looks 70. O'Malley looks about, I want to say 29, somewhere in that area. Now, here's one of the questions I'm going to ask, and then we're just going to, the rest of the podcast will just be shit talking. But I asked everybody that has worked for this promotion this same question. I'm going to ask you. I want a straight answer. I don't even probably have to say it because you know what I'm going to say. Did you get paid?
Where at?
DCW. Where else would it be?
I don't wrestle for free, brother.
Okay.
I do not wrestle for free.
Well,
I'm just gonna put it that way. Yeah, I don't. As far as anybody who else wasn't getting paid, I don't know. I'm not in charge of it.
There's not many.
But
or at least that's what they told me.
But at the same time, it was a year before I truly started getting paid. Like USCW or USWA, whichever one it was, I can't remember. But whatever name it was, I got paid through them. But everybody was green, including the guys running the show. So I mean, that's nothing. When I started working for AWF, I was driving a mobile once a week. Probably got paid twice that whole year. None of it good, like $5, $10. So I mean, at the end of the day, if you're super young, especially if they trained you and they're not paying you, I understand where it's coming from. I also understand the feeling of wanting to get paid. So I'm not against anybody leaving because they weren't getting paid, but I'm not going to shit on a company for not paying.
I ain't asking you shit on nobody now.
Oh no, I'm not.
You're just confirming.
No. I'm just saying. Like I get both sides. I understand wanting to get paid for wrestling, and if you feel like you should get paid and you bring that to the companies, bring that to their attention that you'd like to get paid, and they still won't pay, then yeah, I understand leaving. I'm not gonna hate
Gary,
that.
I'm a manager and I still take bumps. What are you talking about? No bumps. You got to take a bump every now and then, Gary. I feel that old. Well, Chambers, you are that old. There ain't no feeling. All right, Willie Buck's got a good one here, and I'm gonna get. Oh, Jesse Dragonheart. I know you've not been in the ring with Jesse the Dragonheart yet, but I see a lot of potential in this kid.
Oh
and
yeah, I love
I
Jesse.
think you two would have a hell of a match.
Oh yeah, I met him when he had his first match in Diamond. Shook his hand. He seemed like a good kid. He was very respectful, all that. And then I got to see his first match, and kid was so much energy. It's great. I love it.
And he stands out too.
If you could bottle whatever that kid has for all that energy, you would sell out quickly. Like that, I love him to death. He comes out, big ball of fire, running around, shaking hands, everything else, doesn't slow down until the bell rings. He's still going steady through the match, and he doesn't slow down until the bell rings again, and he gets to the back. Like, the kid's great. I love him to death.
He really is, and like he stands out too. He's another one that's got a different, unique look. And then it's like I was telling him, I don't want to give away something I told him, but I did give him a little bit of advice on, merch that he needs to do. Because I think he would be in kind of, garnering to kids more, that he could really make some money doing that. And I think, Gary, I understand the surgeries, brother. We had a match, and I threw him behind me, and he didn't hit the ground. Kind of freaked me out. He was stuck between the cage and the ring. Do you remember that one?
I believe it. I don't remember it specifically, but I did a lot of dumb shit over the years. Cage matches, hardcore matches, you name it. Took wild bumps, stuff I probably wouldn't do these days. So yeah, I'm sure. Man,
hell, you and the Solution, you and Ashton had a triple threat tag team match against the Pride and Bounties and Beer, and a hellacious. There were some bumps taken in that one for sure.
Yeah, I tore. There's a muscle in your ass cheek. It was the gluteus medius. I tore that in that match, and I also cracked my sternum. Koloff gave me the cannonball. I had a ladder against me in the corner. He cannonballed into it, cracked my sternum. I didn't even realize, the ladder hit me across the chest. I didn't know it was cracked. I just knew it hurt. And then, my focus was I couldn't stand up because my ass cheek was swollen. And I hang on, let me let this dog go. But there you go. But I was focused on that muscle pain and getting through that, and I still wrestled, and then it wasn't until my second doctor's appointment, after going to double check on that muscle, making sure it was healing. I happened to have a knot on my sternum, and I said, so off topic, but what's this knot I have on my sternum? And he feels it, and he looks around and he said, well, actually you cracked your sternum, but it's healed now. So I'd been wrestling for 2 months with a cracked sternum and had no clue. So
jeez,
yeah.
How the hell did you do that? Well, it's the things that we do. It's just, I
mean, I've broken fingers, I've bruised ribs, and I didn't take much time off for any of it. Like, you just tape it up and keep going. As far as the chest, I thought it was just a bruise, just hurt like normal, but lo and behold.
I got to go back to something. It'd been a while since me and you seen each other, and I want to say that me and in between the DCW, AWA, and all that other stuff that happened, we had not seen each other for a while. We did talk though. I was thinking like Crusade was it, but no, me and you talked a couple times at DCW back when I came over for a show at that time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then you came in. You actually came in to work when I owned AWA.
Yep. Yeah. I work Brimstone.
Yep.
Wrestled against
Brimstone,
Brimstone.
baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you come in looking like a damn $1 million, man. You've been really working out and shit. Like
I've been lazy since then.
But dude, you come in that night. I'm just saying, damn, O'Malley has transformed. Looking good. Looking
Yeah,
good.
about 185, 190. Solid.
Yeah, you was tearing it up.
I need to get back.
And then me and you saw each other at the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun night, was it not?
Oh yeah, it's always fun. That's one of them locker rooms that I always enjoy myself hanging out in.
There's so many shit talkers in there and people that bury everybody in those kind of locker rooms, and you get to hang out and get the knowledge of, people that love to bury people. And I just, that's why I stick myself around it. That's why I can talk shit. Anyway,
right. There you go.
You're a part. Yeah, he was a part of all 3 DCW phases. He really was. You was a part of the Gene Miller phase in the beginning. You was a part of the Tommy Wetgen DCW in the beginning, and you pretty much been a mainstay in the Brent DCW as of now. Correct?
Yep. By far, though, Gene was the best in my opinion.
He was just a great guy too, though. I mean, he was a boss kind of guy. Like he was a boss kind of guy, but it was fun times.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. When during the Tommy stuff, I don't know if it was Tommy or Brent making the decisions, but there's a lot of stuff I didn't agree with. Bringing in names as a surprise was silly to me. Why not use the name to increase your draw? Yeah, advertise who you're bringing in. They also had a tendency to want to kayfabe the locker room, like whenever that extreme night was happening, I got hit up and they asked if I wanted to come to the seminar, and I said, well, who's running the seminar? And they're like, well, it's a secret. I'm not paying for a seminar from a secret person. I'm no.
Yeah, you hold on. You pay for the seminar. You get there. Yeah. The secret person is the brilliant one.
Yeah, right. Like
fuck that shit.
It made no sense. But I mean, I'm not necessarily hating on what they were doing. I just didn't agree with what they were doing. And I tend to be very vocal, so that's probably why they stopped booking me. Because if it's something stupid, I'm gonna say it's stupid. That's just me. I think the last one, it was supposed to be a tag match, and that was I lost my tag partner, and I ended up having to work their tag champs solo. And that was one of the last times they used me during that era. They brought me back in at the some kind of rumble at the dome, the
Rumble
temple. That's what it was. When they were at the temple, they had some kind of rumble. Then they brought me in and did a few things, but nothing major. I did get to put the worm through a stage once. That was fun.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to bring up. You got to put the worm through the stage. The only problem with that was he's still walking. What happened?
Somebody rigged the stage. There was originally a big piece in the middle that I was trying to crack him through. Oh yeah, me and Kaiser did have the casket match. I think that was the last time. I think that was the last one. Me and Kaiser had the casket match.
Let me ask you this. I had Mac Daddy on last night, and I asked him the same question I'm going to ask you real quick. What was it like being at the temple? Because a lot of people are talking about, how great the building was, even though it didn't have AC. What was your thoughts on the setup and just being in that building?
I'd been in the temple several times before that. I don't know if it was
You heard
AWS
wrong there,
or
Chris.
who it was exactly. But I've wrestled there multiple times leading up to that, and I've always loved the temple. Back in the day, I used to draw a lot. I wrestled BTY there. I don't know if he's even wrestling anymore.
Oh, he's back. He's back. He's
Yeah, big dude.
yeah.
Not Zane, but it's
No, I know
another.
you're talking about. Yeah, the
Yeah,
other one.
I can't remember his shoot name or anything, but he always wrestled as BTY. I wrestled him there when we had bang up fucking match. That's when I could still go. But then I hadn't wrestled there until they went back, and it was different. Like you said, the AC was out by the end. But it wasn't bad. I mean, the way they had it set up was nice. You got good lighting, good setup. To me, it's not a great part of town to run shows in because there's no parking worth a damn. You're downtown Mobile, so that's one thing you always got to think about when you get venues is where the hell are people going to park. So I didn't like that part. But I mean, as far as just pure venue, it was good. It was good setup, good everything.
Good look. Yeah, I always thought it had a good look. You know what, Chris Phillip? There you go. Now let me ask you about another guy, another piece of shit. This piece of shit that I think I don't even know if he's still wrestling. I think he may retire. Let's talk about that piece of shit, Joey Abel.
Joey fucking Abel. Actually, what's funny is Joey Abel. Actually, he refereed my very first match. I think it was my first match. It was one of my first matches. It was me and Nick Wonder. He wasn't wrestling yet, but he refereed for us way back then. And then I don't think he might have refereed a little more after that, but I didn't see him that much until Battle Zone when he started as Dinky Dalton.
Oh, Dinky Dalton.
Yeah. But I've always liked Chris. He was a great guy. He came into his own, started doing. He's got the. I don't even know what you call it. It's where you like slide on your head and do the quick flip up to your feet.
Yeah, he still does that.
Yeah, it's great. I couldn't do it. I don't guess I have the abs for it, but which he didn't have abs either, so I don't know how the hell he did it. But I've always like him. He's been great. Me and him have been boys since back then. So I mean, I've known him forever. So yeah.
Yeah. Old Dinky, he's great. Nah, I like him. I have to go. But yeah, he's great. And I always try to give him a hard time. He looks like Butterbean. Now you got to admit, he looks like Butterbean. Like he's like the mini version of Butterbean.
Like Butterbean back when he was in good health. Yeah. I could see that.
Back when he knocked Bart Gunn out.
Yeah.
The only difference is, he was just a mini version of it.
Yeah.
But super crazy entrance. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super. Yeah, that's probably where I've seen it first. Was Super Crazy doing it back in.
Yeah, Super Crazy used to do it all the time, like
WCW and WWE.
And I don't know how Joey does. I guess maybe like the
I
head.
can't do it. I think it's the bald. I think it's the baldness. He just slides better on his head.
Maybe I should shave my head and see how it works. No, I'm not going to do that.
I could probably slide on the side of mine.
Don't forget to like and follow us right here on Facebook or subscribe to us on YouTube. If you got any questions for Steve, I'm sure he'll answer them. But either it just happens what he said.
I have answers.
But if you got any questions for him, shoot them in here. Make sure you like the video. Like I said, go check us out at Brainbuster Tees. Get the Off the Rails t-shirt. The link is in the description for both the subscription here on Facebook and the Brainbuster Tees store, all in the description right here on the on Facebook and YouTube. Let's see. Lube up the bald head.
Gotta lube up.
Yeah,
I had
you
to
have
lube up before me and Binky had a match.
what about the priest?
No, he didn't like lube apparently. Wasn't great. Not a fun time. Do
What
not
about
recommend.
Nero? Does Nero like lube?
I don't know. Shit.
Oh,
Oh, by far, Ravens flock.
yeah.
100%. I was always a big Raven fan all the way back in ECW. So when it brought him in, the what about me, the bringing in what was his damn name? Can't remember. He had the signs.
Lodi.
Yes, Lodi. The Perry
Reese.
Saturn. Dude, I was a big fan of Perry Saturn too.
Yeah, Saturn was always great too. Was Reese in there at the time?
Yeah, he
big
went in toward the, I think, midway or toward the end. He came in too. That was great stuff.
Yeah, Lodi was underrated as well. I'll just say this: he
used to come out with the sign, and one time he had the stop sign in it, hit somebody with it. It was great. I loved it.
My favorite out of the flock though was Kidman. I just and that really launched his career, and I think he could have went further, but yeah, he was good. Van Hammer, man. Let me just say this: being a WCW fan, you talk about the Ravens flock and all that. First off, Van Hammer. How many people out there know who the hell Van Hammer is? Do you, Steve?
I do, to an extent, but not well. I know of him.
I'm just gonna say this: he won the WCW World Title in WCW NWO Revenge with me. I helped him win it. But the thing is Van Hammer had a little spot there in the late '90s where he got popular on WCW.
Mm-hmm.
But I went back and looked. Van Hammer was contracted by WCW from 1990 or 91 till they were closed almost. I think he was released in 2000. So he flew under the radar for that many years, but he got paid. He was under contract for that many years.
Yeah, he was getting paid the whole time.
Yeah, so you got – I mean, even if you don't know who the hell he is, you got to give him that. Kidman was a cool person to me. Yeah, I'd have liked to have met Kidman. I never met Kidman.
Neither, unfortunately.
I would have liked to have met Kidman. Got squashed by Sid Justice, yeah, or Sid Vicious. Not Sid Justice. Sid Justice was.
Where was he, Sid Justice? I don't remember that run as Sid Justice.
That was the Hogan WrestleMania 8 shit.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Well before the leg break.
Oh yeah, the leg break was right. I mean, literally, he breaks his leg in January. WCW sells to McMahon in March. I don't know if he would have got back in the WWF even if he had not broke his leg. I think that was kind of broken at that point, but close enough, yeah. Van Hammer feuded with Ron Simmons back in the early 90s. Yes, he did. As a matter of fact, Van Hammer took on Ron Simmons when Ron Simmons was the world champ, the WCW world champ. He did on a Saturday night or something. I can't remember which one it was. But diving into that, like you said, Raven was one of your favorites. And that's funny you say that because that's kind of when I look at you, like you give off the Raven vibe. I remember when Raven, who was it that was with Raven? Was it Canyon?
There was Canyon, Perry Saturn.
No, I'm talking about when he was doing this thing where he was, he was the rich kid.
Oh, first, I think it was Canyon, yeah.
I think it was Canyon, and Canyon was another underrated guy too.
Oh, I loved Canyon. Chris Canyon was great.
I didn't think he got a fair run in WWF when he came in, but he did win the tag team titles.
Yeah.
And he was a European champion. So and the United States champion at one point, but it was all convoluted stuff in there. It was Clash of the Champions. Okay, it was Clash of the Champions. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Yeah, Chris Canyon, man, when Mortis, yeah, when they did the Dark Side of the Ring on that, man, that was a hard one to watch.
Oh yeah, a lot of those are though.
Yeah, I mean they really are. Just that one. Like I went back and watched the Dino Bravo one because I was like, low key a Dino Bravo fan back in the early '90s, and found out he was murdered, shot 16 times in his recliner.
Oh yeah,
And it was overselling. I mean, the suspicion is overselling, illegal cigarettes. We're not talking about weed. We're talking about real cigarettes. The cigarettes were illegal or something to that effect in Canada at the time. But
Mafia.
Yep, and I think he was kind of married into the mafia somewhat. I think his wife's dad or something was part of or higher ups in the mafia kind of deal. So, yeah, you mess with the mafia, you get taken out. I love mafia movies. I just don't know if I'd want to be in the mafia. Let's see, Steve. So, what you got coming up, man? I mean, I know you got Crusade Pro. Why don't you throw that out there and talk about some of your upcoming events?
July 12th, we got Crusade Pro. The 27th, we got PWR having their first show on the coast.
Yeah, that got postponed, right?
Yeah,
right.
It was supposed to be last month. It got postponed due to some conflicts with the city, thanks to scraping the coast and all that. But yeah, will be the 27th. I got MCW.
Wait a minute, you're going to MCW?
Yeah, I've been off and on with MCW.
Pretty much. Shit on them the other night, just a minute ago.
When did I shit on MCW?
Like 20 minutes ago.
I didn't shit on MCW.
Oh, you remember?
I don't remember.
You didn't remember much stuff, so I was just wondering.
I don't think I did. 19th, yes, that's when I'll be there at MCW, the 19th. I knew it wasn't the 5th. I was on the next one after. So that would be
5th, my birthday. No, not this. No.
Yeah, they got one on the 5th, and I'm not going to be on that one, but I'll be on the 19th. Thank you, Rickard. I was having trouble remembering. So I got the 12th, 19th, and then PWR the 27th. I was going to be on the Diamond pay-per-view, but they had to change their date on that. So that ended up being on the 12th, and I was already contractually obligated to be at Crusade. So
you're gonna miss out on the record-breaking 3 people this time now that buy the pay-per-view. I tried to buy it last time, but right as I was fitting to hit that buy button, my wife says we're going to the movies. I was like, shit. Well, all right. I went to the movies. But we're going to too many concussions. Yeah. See, I can already make up stuff that Steve said because he won't remember in the morning.
That doesn't.
But where will the PWR show be?
PWR will be in Gulfport at the Jazz something or other.
So he was talking shit about MCW.
I was
not. You don't even know where the damn show's. It's
at
the Jazz.
The Jazz. Hold on. I'm gonna search for it. I gotta close it.
Yeah. Well, hey, Matt Clark, what match is it going to be on the 12th that Steve O'Malley's going to have?
Here, the Jazz Quarters Cafe. There it is. Jazz Quarters Cafe.
It's in Gulfport. So,
and but yeah,
it will be. So bring a fan.
It'll be, bring multiple fans, and also things to wave yourself with. But yeah, it'll be. Should be a good one. It's always a good one, especially when I'm on the car. Let's face it.
All right, so we're fixing to start getting closer to the end here in a minute. And when we do, because I got to keep it under 2 hours so I can make clips and put them out there and piss people off. Which I don't know if you've done anything yet to piss people off. We need to get there. We got to get there. I mean, the only person you pissed off so far is a priest. That's the only thing. I mean, we really have. Let me think of some controversial names. Now you're gonna straight shoot with me, right?
Oh yeah. Always
right.
do.
Well, I'm gonna pause it. We're not on air. We're not live right now. Tell me somebody you dislike.
Just randomly dislike. I don't hate people enough to this.
No, I don't hate people either. I dislike people.
I mean, I will straight shoot about them, but as far as dislike,
what about Sing Pet here? That's somebody nobody likes.
I mean, I like Sing Pet. He's a troll. Don't get me wrong. He
big time.
I'm the same way though, so I'm not gonna hate on that. But I like Gato. Well,
you only make them cry, Brandon. I do. I hate making people cry. No, I actually don't. I like it when they cry.
But no, as far as Josh Crow and Shelby Smith, I have nothing for them. Period.
Now, let me ask you this. Speaking of Shelby, because you've been around him, right?
Oh yeah, I train the kids. So
yeah, where did he come up with the franchise from?
That's on him. I don't know. Stole it from Chris Black, as far as I know.
Oh man,
that definitely doesn't fit him as well as it does Chris Black. And Chris Black had permission from where it came from. So
yeah, we know. He even said that on the podcast. Like, speaking of that person, Chris Black, you need to get up with him. I need to get him on the podcast. I'd love to ask him some questions. Everybody hates somebody, but that's okay. That's what life's about. Yeah. I mean, not everybody. We don't like everybody, And that's a shoot, brother. All right, Hogan, calm down now. Let's see here. Sing Poo is a piece of shit, as Suge White says. Suge, man, now you're a bigger troll than Sing Pet. I don't know if he's a troll. He's more.
I don't know if he's as big of one. Physically, yes, but
Sing Pet's the biggest troll that's ever lived.
Oh yeah, gotta like that about him though.
I do. I love it. I try. That's what I try to do with this show. I am trying to compete with him.
Good luck.
It's not happening yet, but one day maybe it will. All right. Here's a name. That's my biggest fan you're talking about. Yeah, Sing Pet loves you, JB. But let's talk about JB here. Let's talk about old JB Straw Hat. So I'll tell you this. I didn't think he had nuts. He comes on the show. He does the show. And, he's mad because I'm, talking about his little boy, Tommy, here and there. But give me your thing about JB.
I like JB. JB's all right. He's got a lot of heart for the business. He's not a wrestler. He doesn't try to be a tough guy. He's just.
Well, he has tried to be, yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody. If you got issues with somebody, you're gonna be. So, I mean,
it's true.
But he doesn't run around pretending to be a tough guy like some people. See, I've never had issues with him, so I ain't got nothing bad to say about him.
I ain't asking you to find nothing bad to say about
no,
him.
I mean, I've never had any issues with him myself. He's a good guy. As far as, I mean, most of the time, like anybody I don't like or anybody that has issues with me, most of the time they don't bring those issues to me. They're not going to say it to me. So
I'll say it to you right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
See?
I would like you to. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say what I have to say about somebody because what are they going to do? Fight me? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want them to. Fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
You're
Like,
trying to
they're
goad
welcome
them
to
into
say what they
that.
want to say. I mean, just back it up whenever it's time. Don't
All right.
tell me, oh, I can't fight on a show day. Because I'm
Number
the type
two.
I will fight somebody in the back, go out front and have a bang up match with them. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't mind at all. I ain't got problems fighting. I never have. From the time I was 8 years old till now, I haven't had any issues with fighting. So
Hey, Singpet, do you want your hat signed? Tommy Wet Gin. That's the next name. Ooh, we may have hit something here.
dum dum bum.
Ooh.
You boys quit whacking in my shed.
Oh, Beavis and Butthead Do America. I love that show.
That's them boys that was whacking at my shed.
They're whacking in my tool shed. He's shaking like he's on crack when he's saying that. Let's see it.
No, I chop across the nipples. I chop the nipples. You chop the back. I chop you in the nipples.
And dude, look, anytime that you're in the ring, like you're getting chopped and like your damn chest just looks like hamburger meat, son. You get the hell chopped out of you when you're in the ring. Kimber Fox chopped the shit out of you at the Rumble. Well, she did me too, and my chest was hamburger meat too. But
chop my nipple off too. It was terrible.
yeah.
But no, my break-in match. Whenever my first match with AWF, I'm willing to say 30, 40 chops in that match. My chest was literally bleeding, like literal blood running down my chest just from chops. So I'm not scared to take chops. I love chops. Like chops are one of those things that you can put me against the rail right beside people, chop me across the chest, and the people in that front row can sit there and say, "This shit's that was real. This was real." That's one of those things of you can't fake that. So I don't mind them at all. At this point, my chest is practically leather when it comes to that. Like, yeah, that initial pop sucks, but after that, it's over. It's done with. Like, it doesn't bother me.
I've always said this, and I shouldn't say this because now I'm probably gonna have to answer to it. But I got chopped one night by Koloff, and Koloff lays them in,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got chopped by Charles West right after that. And then the chops that I received after that, I don't even feel. I'm not gonna mention any names, but I didn't feel any because I was already numb by that point.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I mean, there's been many matches. If that chop's selling, I'll work my way around the ring and let you chop me the whole circle. I don't mind at all. Like if it sells to the fans, the hardest chop. Too quick. That man wraps his hand in electrical tape to the point that his hand is numb as shit. And then he'll chop you, and it's like getting slapped with a leather belt across the chest. And that's the thing. When I broke in, that's the kind of guys that were at the show. It was too quick. Let's see, Corey Jackson, Mountain Man. You had Joey the Body Barrett was there. So, well, back then, Joey had the hardest chops by far. Like I saw that man chop a guy about my size. And we're talking at the club casino. It has that hardwood dance floor. He chopped this guy, and the kid not only went down with a bump on the hardwood floor, but skidded across the floor like a rock on a lake. Just chopped him so hard. I'm surprised he didn't have nipples coming out of his back. It was bad. But since his passing, I would probably say too quick, definitely.
I've never taken a chop from Too Quick, but I have taken a chop from his tag team partner, Overton.
Oh, Overton's got good chops.
That's no slouch either. So
Big Thaddeus does too. Thaddeus has
yeah.
brutal chops. Especially that double chop he does. Oh, it's fucking. Every time he sets me up for it, I'm just, you motherfucker, and then bow. So.
The last time I tried to chop the Russian of destruction, I chopped like a little high school girl. I didn't know what happened. I just couldn't get it off, and it sucked. I was so mad at myself.
Well, sometimes you just can't get it off, man. It's just one of those things that happens. It comes with age.
General LePew.
Oh, Lee had some good chops back in the day too. Oh yeah. I worked many days with General. I don't think I've ever actually worked a match with him. I mean, we had many battle royals back then. That was a big thing back in the day. I'm glad not as many people do a battle royal almost.
Oh, they used to do a battle royal every show just because it was,
just for filler, just to get everybody out there. And that was the worst part when I broke in, is you had all these guys, Mountain Man, Joey Barrett. I can't even think of all the older guys that were there at that point. And all of them chopped the hell out of you, and they would have battle royals like every other week. So I'm one of the greenest guys in the damn ring. So of course I'm in the corner 90% of the time getting the shit chopped out of me. So that's why these days chops don't bother me. I mean, they're gonna happen. If they happen, so be it. I mean, I'll get them back most of the time, but.
Well, hell yeah, man. Look, so back chops are a bitch. One night, I don't know if you was there. It was at Diamond, I believe, or maybe it was it was AWA. It was AWA. It was after I brought Mac Daddy Duds back, and we were doing I can't remember if it was a battle royal or something to that effect. Anyway, somehow I ended up in the ring. And everybody is looking around, and here comes Duds. I'm on all four. Here comes Duds. He's doing something, and then he sees me over there. He's like, "Oh hell, here we go!" And he just comes over there, wham on the back, and I'm just like, "Ah." And I was just like, "Yep." He was searching me out that night. So, and speaking of people searching me out. People that wanted to get their hands on me and finally got his hands on me at Lost Starter Wrestling. That was Wes Warren. He'll be right here on the podcast tomorrow night, so make sure you tune in for that. Cold-blooded Wes Warren tomorrow night, right here on the Breeze Show. Another great talent.
Oh yeah,
got a good future ahead of him. But man, Steve, thank you for coming on, man. It's been 6 years since you was on a podcast with me.
Back when it was over the phone, it was audio.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, dude, remember? This was how bad it was. Like I was recording it; it was audio only. We wasn't doing video, and I had a mic like this. And what I would do is I would get the phone. We'd call each other on the phone, and I would have the one of those things that you put your camera on now, like you do with the phones, and I would have it sitting right there by the mic. And that's how I would conduct the interview is with a phone right up against the mic and me talking into the same mic.
And it's funny, I don't think I ever even heard it.
Yeah.
Bad because I was on it. But
well, hell, I don't even think I've heard half my episodes I do. Hell, I don't even know these episodes. It's only because I'm on here. Like I don't go back and listen to these ever. Because I hate the sound of my voice, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too. Jacob Walker has a good chop. We're going to find out about Jacob Walker. I'm going to have to get up with Jacob Walker. But Steve, man, thanks for coming on. If you'll just hang in there in a minute. But before we go, if there's anything you want to plug, the floor is yours, man.
Just support indie wrestling, guys. Like I said, I got Crusade the 12th. 19th, I got MCW. I'm going to be there. 27th, I got PWR. So just support indie wrestling. Come out, catch a show. I'll be pissing you off, I'm sure. It'll be good stuff.
Let's see what Gary said. I remember dressing as Santa, and I didn't have a Santa sack. I borrowed a sack in the back, went to the ring with Mountain Man, was doing the promo, and I jumped and hit him on the back with back of the head. I heard a thud or a thunk. And when I went to the back, there was a metal in the sack.
Ouch.
I bet that one a fun one. But Steve, man, thanks for coming on. Just hang in there for just a second. I'm gonna drop you down. We'll be right with you. Thanks everybody for coming in to the Brilliant Show tonight. We got West Warren tomorrow night. Like I said, don't forget we're running a special. We're giving away free merchandise every Monday night. All you gotta do is subscribe for 99 cents a month, and we'll do a drawing every Monday night. So make sure you go check that out. Hit us up. It's worth it because if you win, I mean, you got 2 years subscription right there in that. Thank you for joining us though tonight, and coming back hopefully. Jason's wanting to get some work in there, so we'll see. But thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow night with Wes Warren right here on the Brilliant Show.
Lights blaze bright, it's a glorious sight. The champ of the mic owns the night. With a mind so slick and a suit so clean, he's running this ring like a wrestling machine. From gold-plated deals to jaw-dropping schemes, he's the mastermind of your wildest dreams. Stand up, take note, bow down if you can. It's the Brilliant Show with the